Hello everyone, welcome to fourth session on shear force and bending moment, that is unit 3 strength of materials, third semester, mechanical engineering department. So in this session we are going to discuss problems on cantilever beam with UDL and point loads. Okay. So in this session I will going to solve problems on cantilever beam with a UDL as well as a point load. So as we discussed in the previous session, we have solved two problems on cantilever beam with only point loads. Okay. Those two problems do not carry any uniformly distributed load, but now in the third problem the beam carries both UDL as well as the point load. So, we will solve this problem, that is problem number 3 says draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for cantilever beam of 6 meter long which carries a point load of 2 kilonewton at the free end and an UDL of, that is uniformly distributed load of 3 kilonewton per meter for length of 2 meter from the fixed end. Okay. So, now we have to read the question carefully and draw the free body diagram or the sketch of the beam. Okay. So, as we can see in the question it is given 6 meter long beam. So, you have to draw a 6 meter long beam with using a proper scale. That can be, you can use the appropriate scale and draw the sketch. So, it is a cantilever beam at fixed at A and the free end is B. So, a question says which carries a point load of 2 kilonewton at the free end. So, this is the free end and you have to place 2 kilonewton load, point load at the free end and an uniformly distributed load of 3 kilonewton per meter for length of 2 meter from the fixed end. So, from the fixed end for a length of 2 meter you have to place an uniformly distributed load by using suitable representation, that is the load value is 3 kilonewton per meter. Okay. Now, moving on to the solution to the problem number 3. So, you have to draw the sketch again in the solution, okay, and you have to solve for the shear force values. To draw the shear force diagram, we need shear force at different points. Okay. So, on the beams we have marked 3 points, that is A as the fixed end and B as the free end which carries a point load, and up to C it is carrying a uniformly distributed load. So, we will calculate the shear force value from right to the left. Okay. That is, first we will calculate shear force at B. So, shear force at B is the load which is carrying on that point, that is 2 kilonewton, which is equal to 2 kilonewton. Now, second point is shear force up to C. From B to C there is no load, we can see there is no load between B and C. So, shear force up to C is also constant, that is equal to 2 kilonewton. Now, what is the shear force at C? So, at C there is no concentrated or the point load, hence again it is the same load which is 2 kilonewton. Now, we will see from C to A. So, as there is an UDL, so the shear force value increases gradually from C to A. So, shear force up to A is equal to 2, that is this load plus the UDL. We have to convert this UDL or you have to replace this UDL by a point load, equivalent point load. Okay. You have to consider an equivalent point load that is, so I am replacing this UDL with the equivalent point load for the calculation purpose. So, after replacing this UDL, it is acted at the center of this length. So, at the center point of the 2 meter, that is 1 meter from the fixed end, we have to consider a point load which is equivalent load of the UDL, that is multiply the value of UDL with the length. So, it is 3 kilonewton per meter. So, for 2 meters we have to multiply it by 2 meter length. So, that is 3 into 2. Okay. So, now for calculation of shear force up to A, we have two loads, one is at B and one is at the center of A and C. So, 2 plus 3 into 2 is the load, which is equal to 6 plus 2 8 kilonewtons. Now, the shear force at A is equal to again same 8. Okay. So, these are the shear force values at different points on the beam. Now, we can draw the shear force diagram with the help of the values which we have solved for the shear force diagram. So, this is the shear force diagram with the given values. Okay. So, at shear force at B, shear force at B, we have to draw a reference line 0, and at B the value is 2 kilonewton. So, you have to draw a vertical line by marking 2 units on the vertical line. So, draw a vertical line of 2 kilonewton. Then from B to C it is constant. So, it is a horizontal line parallel to the reference line. So, it is straight line that is parallel to the horizontal line. So, which is 2 kilonewton up to C. Now, shear force at C is also 2 kilonewton. Okay. Then shear force up to A, from C to A it increases gradually, that is 2 plus 3 into 2, that is it is increasing from 2 to 8. So, mark 8 units on the line which is corresponds to point A. So, then join this line with the inclined straight line, join these 2 points with the inclined straight line. So, this is the shear force diagram, and hatch the sketch and you have to mark it as positive, because we are considering a section which is on the right side and the forces are downwards. So, as per the sign convention it will be positive shear force. Okay. Now, moving on to the bending moment diagram. Okay. So, to draw the bending moment diagram, we have to calculate the bending moment values at different points, that is bending moment at B, bending moment at C and bending moment at A. So, as we know, at the free end bending moment is equal to 0. So, bending moment at B will be always 0, because it is a free end, and if it is also carrying a load, but that load is not considered. So, now what is the bending moment at C? So, bending moment at C can be calculated by considering the loads which are on the right side of the section, right side of the point C, that is only one load which is a 2 kilonewton load at free end. So, as it is a hogging bending moment, okay, due to the load the beam is trying to hog, okay, it is like a hogging bending moment. So, we have to consider negative sign. So, negative -2 into the distance between C and this point load is 4 meters, because 6 minus 2 we will left with only 4 meters. So, from C to B the distance is 4 meters. Okay. So, we have to multiply this load into the distance for calculation of the moment, bending moment. So, -2 into 4 is equal to -8 kilonewton meter. Okay. Now moving on to the bending moment at A. So, when you are calculating bending moment at A, consider this load, point load as well as the UDL. So, for calculation of the bending moment due to the point load, we have to multiply the value of the load into the distance. So, this load is at a distance of 6 meter from A. So, we have to multiply minus 2 into 6. Then we have to replace this UDL. So, for the calculation purpose, I will replace, we cannot consider UDL to solve for the bending moment. So, I will replace it with the equivalent point load, which is at the center of the UDL, which is again 3 into the distance 2. Okay. So, minus 3 into 2 is it is the load and distance is the UDL length divided by 2, half of the UDL. So, you have to consider only the half of the length, that is 1 meter or 2 divided by 2, half of this length. So, it will be 2 divided by 2. This is the load, okay, which is 3 into 2, because I am replacing UDL with equivalent point load. It will give an effect of same effect which UDL has already in place. So, we have to replace this UDL with the equivalent point load, and this is the load value and this is the distance, which is half of the distance of the UDL, that is 2 divided by 2. It is minus 12 minus 6. Okay. It will be minus 18. So, after getting all the bending moment values, you have to draw the bending moment diagram. So, this will be the bending moment diagram with the corresponding values. We know bending moment at B is 0 and bending moment at C is minus 8. So, along the line of C, you have to mark minus 8, that is 8 units on this line, okay, and join this B to C with a inclined straight line. As we have already discussed in the previous session, when there is no load between the points, then the bending moment varies according to an inclined straight line. So, it increases and you have to draw an inclined straight line. Okay. Then from C to A, we have an uniformly distributed load. When there is a uniformly distributed load, the bending moment varies according to parabolic law. Okay. So, what is the bending moment at A? Minus 18. So, you have to mark the point minus 18 units on the line A and join this with the parabolic curve from C to A. Okay. So, as we have already drawn, and hatch the bending moment area, diagram of the bending moment area, and place it a negative sign. You have to mark it as a negative, because it is a hogging bending moment. You have to consider it as negative sign according to the sign conventions. So, this is the solution for the problem number 3. Now, we will move on to the problem number 4. So, the statement of the problem is a cantilever beam 5 meter long carries point loads of 30 kilonewton and 10 kilonewton at a distance of 1 meter and 5 meter from the fixed end respectively. In addition to this, the beam carries a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter between the point loads. Now, construct shear force diagram and bending moment diagram at all salient points. So, first you read the question carefully and draw the sketch or the free body diagram of the given problem. So, we will draw it. That is, we have a cantilever beam of 5 meter long. So, length of the beam is 5 meter carries point loads of 30 kilonewton and 10 kilonewton. So, it is carrying 2 point loads, one is 30 kilonewton and another one is 10 kilonewton at a distance of 1 meter and 5 meter from fixed end. So, we have to carefully see whether it is a fixed end or free end. So, it is saying that it is from the fixed end. So, from the fixed end, first you mark 1 meter, okay, on the beam, then place this first load, okay. This 30 kilonewton is 1 meter from fixed end respectively. So, 30 kilonewton load is at a distance of 1 meter from the fixed end. So, place a point load 30 kilonewton which is 1 meter away from the fixed end, and the second load which is 10 kilonewton, it is at a distance of 5 meter from the fixed end. So, from the fixed end you mark the point 5 meter on the beam. So, it will be at the free end. So, 5 meter, as the length of the beam is 5 meter, and when you mark 5 meter from fixed end, it will, the point load will be at the free end which is 10 kilonewton. And in addition to this, the beam carries a UDL of 10 kilonewton per meter between the point loads. So, between point loads it is carrying an UDL, uniformly distributed load, of 10 kilonewton per meter, as we have represented in this sketch. What we have to do? We have to construct shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Now, we will go to the solution to the problem number 4. Again redraw the sketch and solve for the shear force values. So, first we will calculate the shear force at B from right to left. Okay. So, shear force at B is the load which is on the B, that is 10 kilonewton, which is only point load. Okay. So, shear force at B is equal to 10 kilonewton. Now, what is shear force from B to C, that is up to C? We have to calculate, that is 10 plus 10 into 4. This is the equivalent point load which is to be replaced by the UDL. So, I have to replace an point load So, by considering this UDL and replacing it with a point load, the point load, that is the value is 10 into 10 kilonewton per meter is the UDL value. So, and that you have to multiply the value of load into the distance of UDL, length of the UDL, complete length of the UDL is 5 minus 1, 4 meters. So, 10 into 4. So, we have two loads up to C. So, we have two loads up to C, that is one is 10 kilonewton at B and an UDL which is replaced by a equivalent point load, that is 10 into 4. So, 10 plus 10 into 4 is equal to 50 kilonewtons. So, this is the shear force value up to C. Now, what is the shear force value at C? So, when you are considering shear force at C, we have to consider this load also, which is acted on the point C. So, that is the previous, these two values are 50 plus 30, which is equal to 80 kilonewton at C. Now, we will move on to the next point, that is A. Up to shear force up to A is equal to again same 80 kilonewton, because there is no load between C and A. Hence, shear force up to A is also 80 and shear force at A is also 80 kilonewtons. Okay. Now, by using these shear force values, we can draw the shear force diagram easily. So, first draw the reference line, which is a 0 line. What is the shear force at B? 10. So, you have to mark the 10 units on this line and draw a vertical line, and from B to C, as we can see, it is a uniformly distributed load. It will be an inclined straight line. So, up to C we have the shear force value as 50. So, it varies from 10 to 50 uniformly, that is with the inclined straight line. And then what is shear force at C? At C it is 80. So, we have to draw a vertical line. This vertical line is because of the point load 30 kilonewton. So, from base to the 80 kilonewton, that is you have to mark with the 80 units. So, then from C to A, it is again there is no load, it is a horizontal line. So, shear force at A is 80 kilonewton. So, you have to draw an horizontal line from C to A. So, this is the shear force diagram. Hatch it, and the mark and the sign, as per the sign convention, it is a positive shear force. Okay. Now, moving on to the bending moment diagram. So, bending moment diagram, to draw the bending moment diagram, we have to first solve the bending moment values. Okay. So, first bending moment at B, we have already discussed. At the free end, bending moment is 0, okay, because free end of the beam. Okay. Now, what is bending moment at C? So, bending moment at C, we have to consider this load which is on point B and the UDL. So, to solve the UDL, again we have to replace it with the equivalent point load, that is 10 into 4, which is equal to 40. Okay. So, first we will consider this point load, which is minus 10 into 4. This is the point load. As it is a hogging bending moment, we have to take a negative sign. Okay. Then this is the UDL replaced with the point load. So, minus 10 into 4 is the load value W. Length is, so this is the load. What is the distance from this point to the C? So, as we consider the load is acting at the center. So, this will be half of the 4 meters, that is 4 divided by 2. Okay. So, load into distance is 4 by 2. So, we will get a value of minus 120 kilonewton meter. Now, moving on to the third bending moment value, that is bending moment at A, which is equal to again the load into distance. Load into perpendicular distance is minus 10 into 5, minus 10 into 5. So, this is for the point load, and again for the UDL it is minus 10 into 4 is the value into the distance is 4 by 2 from here to here, plus this distance is 1. So, from this point to this point A, distance will be 4 by 2 plus 1, 4 by 2 plus 1. So, this is the load and this is the distance we have multiplied to get the moment of the UDL. Again minus this load. So, 30 kilonewton load, which is at a distance of 1 meter from point A, as we are considering the bending moment about A. So, we have to take the load into distance from A, that is minus 30 into 1, okay, which is equal to total after calculation it will be minus 200 kilonewton meter. Okay. By considering all the values, we will draw a bending moment diagram. So, this will be the bending moment diagram, that is shear bending moment at B is 0 and bending moment at C is minus 120 and bending moment at A is minus 200. So, first mark all the points, then join. As there is an UDL between B to C, it should be joined with a parabolic curve. It is a parabolic curve like this. Okay. So, you have to join it with a parabolic occur. Okay. And from C to A it is a straight line, because there is no load, it should be drawn with the inclined straight line. So, after this you have to hatch it to the 45-degree lines and mention the sign, that is negative sign as per the sign conventions. So, this completes the fourth problem. So, this is the end of the session, that is after this completion of session you will be able to draw shear force diagram and bending moment diagram for cantilever beam with the UDL and point loads. Okay. So, after this session we will discuss some questions. Okay. So, multiple choice questions. Question number 1: in a cantilever subjected to a combination of concentrated load and uniformly distributed load, maximum bending moment is. So, option A is where shear force is equal to 0 at the free end or at the fixed end or at the midpoint. So, in a cantilever subjected to a combination of concentrated load and uniformly distributed load, where is the maximum bending moment occurs. So, you have to consider all the options and you have to mark the correct answer for this question. What is the second question? In shear force diagram, vertical lines are represented for which type of load? Vertical lines are represented for option A is point load, option B is uniformly distributed load, option C uniformly varying load, and option D none of the above. So, think and answer the question and mark the correct option. Moving on to third question, the shear force at a section will be considered positive when the resultant of the forces to the left of the section is. Okay. So, when the shear force at a section will be considered positive when the resultant of the forces to the left of the section. So, on the left of the section, whether it should be upward or downward or both upward and downward or none of the above. So, you have to mark the correct answer. Now, the fourth question, the shear force at a section will be considered positive when the resultant of the force to the right of the section is. When you consider to the right of the section, that is like if it is a beam, if the loads are on the right side and whether it should be positive, if the shear force should be considered positive and the load should be downward or upward or both upward and downward or none of the above. So, among the given options you have to mark the correct answer. Now, moving on to the fifth question, if the resultant of the forces to the left of the section is downwards or to the right of the section is upwards, then what will be the sign convention for the shear force? Okay. So, as it is a positive, if you are considering it is a if the resultant of the forces to the left of the section is downward or to the right of the section is upward, then what will be the sign convention for shear force? Positive, negative or 0 or none of the above. So, we will see the answers. For the question number 1, the option C is the right answer. For question number 2, option A is the right answer. Question number 3, option A is right answer. Question number 4, option B. Question number 5, option B is the right answer. So, we will recheck the answers. For the question number 1, in a cantilever subjected to combination of concentrated load and uniformly distributed load, maximum bending moment is at the fixed end. The correct answer is fixed end. Okay. Always you will get a maximum load at the fixed end of the cantilever beam. Okay. Moving on to second one, in a shear force diagram, vertical lines are represented for. Okay. Vertical lines are represented for which type of load? Point loads. Okay. When there is a point load, you will get a vertical line in the shear force diagram. So, the answer is option A, point loads. For the third question, the shear force at a section will be considered positive when the resultant of the forces to the left of the section is upward. We have to take it as upward according to the sign convention. If the forces are upward on the left of the section, and if the forces are downward on the right of the section, shear force will be positive. So, the correct answer for this third question is the upward force, option A. Okay, you can see the answer as option A. And for the fourth question, the shear force at a section will be considered positive when the resultant of the forces to the right of the section. Okay. So, as we already discussed, if shear force is to be positive, then on the left of the section it should be upward, on the right of the section the forces should be downward. So, as we can see, considered positive when the resultant of forces to the right of the section is, thus force should be downwards. So, the option B is the right answer, that is downwards. Downward load on the right of the section is taken as positive shear force. What is the fifth question? If the resultant of forces to the left of the section is downward or to the right of the section is upward, then what will be the sign convention for shear force? So, it is saying that the resultant of forces on the left of the section is downward and or to the right of the section is upward, then what will be the sign convention? According to the sign convention, it is negative. Okay. So, the answer is option B, negative. Okay. So, these are the answers for the multiple choice questions. So, this completes the complete session.